What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Moonwell today, well as it is. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. Moonwell here at about 2.36 cents right now on this, the third day of October, is holding the line. You might be wondering, if you've got the same capabilities that I do, what line are we holding? We broke the line, Caesar. What are you talking about? Well, let's address that, okay? When we broke this line here, when we broke this line, where was the best time to buy? Right, right, right. It was right below that line. When we broke this line, when is the best time to buy? Right, touch points there. What line are we holding? Not the one that we broke through. What line are we holding? We're holding this line. We're holding prior resistance as support. We're holding higher lows. People think that now we're in a downtrend, but no. You still have higher lows. You still have an uptrend. Higher lows and higher highs. Don't tell me that that's not an uptrend. You think an uptrend just has to be like this, but it can be like this. It can be all kinds of stuff. That is still an uptrend, and you broke all the lines everywhere, right? Nobody's going to be upset with that. That's not. Oh no, we broke out of this imaginary line. No, we still. And I'm drawing this here, but there are things that move just like this all the time, and this is one of them. I very much do believe Moonwell has a lot of growth to go in a very short amount of time. I think what we're getting set up here for is a W pattern with an M in the middle of it, which if you've been watching the channel for any time at all, you know I love these setups, man. I've trademarked this as my own pattern, the reverse bow. Because it looks like a bow and arrow, right? Would go right here. The arrow would go here, but it's the reverse bow because the arrow would suggest you go this way, but the price is going to go that way because you got to complete the bow. So you're going to go up. It's just a W pattern with an M in the middle of it. That's all it is. Right? Like instead of a W like this part's your M. Once you get above that, you should be ripping and running. I thoroughly believe that as fast as this was to the downside, when you move up, it's going to be faster. It'll be a much faster pace, right? Like how long did this take? This was from, actually, let's just use this. Let's not use our brains. Let's just do this. From a high to a low. 19 bars, debatably really like 13 bars of movement to the downside. I would bet 7 bars or less is what it's going to be for moving up, right? Like it's not going to take this long. And by the way, that long is December. What we know is that before this time frame, you're going to see that movement back up. I would bet that by the end of October, you could very well be all the way back up here. All the way back at 10 cents, you guys. Crazy things. Crazy things, okay? We take a high to a low, hit your golden ratio, found support at your golden ratio, hit your 1886, found support at the 886. Isn't that serendipitous? Closed right there at the golden ratio, closed right there at the 1886, 1618, went down to your 618, went down to your 886. It's beautiful. Next target would then be the 2272, maybe to the 2618. I would expect something between 20 cents to 36 cents to come in by the end of this year, okay? Which would be at a minimum an 8x to potentially a 14x, 15x by the end of this year. A lot of growth potential. Let's look at the short-term stuff. Sorry, I have to keep clearing my throat. I've done a lot of talking today. A lot of talking today. We look at the short-term stuff here on the 1 hour time frame. Sorry. Stochastics are bullish, very bullish. The RSI, neutral, a little bit wobbly, but overall bullish, I would say. You look like you want to move up from here. And the MACD is at an area to bounce as well. 4 hour time frame here, looking bullish. I love this uptrend, right? You see the uptrend in the RSI. You've got the higher lows, the higher highs, the parallel trend there. Typically, these uptrends do end once you hit the overbought zone, but they end with bearish divergence. So you'll probably get a lower high and then top off there. Maybe going into the weekend, you pump a little bit, weekend pump, and then you have a little weekday dump back, and then you move up, continuing going into next week. I would bet that's what happens. Stochastics are bullish. Lower lows, but higher lows. MACD is bullish. You're about to touch tips. We love it when you touch tips, man. That's typically when you start to run, right? Here you touch tips and then you move down. Here you touch tips and you move down. Not really any tip touching there. Not really any there. Maybe you don't do that so often. This could be an implication then that we go lower, but typically this is right at the areas that you'd expect to bounce. So I want to say, even if you do go lower, if you're not moving up from here, let's say you have a bearish weekend instead, you'll have a bullish week regardless. Low to high, not the fake out high, but the actual high. Maybe you move down to 2.2 cents at the lowest, 2.24 cents. You're at 2.34 cents right now, so nothing crazy. But absolutely the upside is what you should be more concerned with rather than the downside. I don't think the downside is going to hold up at all. Low to high here, just below the golden ratio. Finding support right above the 786, kind of odd behavior, but you're back above the golden ratio. We love to see it. Closing here today. I think closing above the golden ratio 2 days in a row would be really nice. So let's goal for the day. 3 hours, 34 minutes left in the day. Close at 2.3361 cents. Close above there, okay? Just do that. That's a good goal, right? Close above the golden ratio. That'd be nice. 2 days in a row really validates that this is the low, really validates that you're moving up higher, okay? Validates this whole idea of this M-shaped W formation that we got going on here, right? With the W coming out that way. Anyways, the daily RSI looks great. I mean, it looks bearish, for being honest, but you're looking good getting above the 50 here, right? Getting deep in the overbought zone, getting deep in the oversold zone, definitely seeing a little volatility. Stochastics would suggest that you continue going higher, which is great. And the MACD is crossed green, so that's also good. Double bottom there on the oscillators, lower lows. It's not bullish divergence because this is slightly lower, but it's pretty close. I like it. I like it overall. Weekly time frame, zooming back out here. Again, sorry for that. I need to drink some water. Hold up, y'all. Yep. Check 1 2. Check. Is everything working? I think so. I would very much believe. First off, I don't think this is the all-time high. I'm associating this with the all-time high. So let's get that straight, okay? I very much believe that we're about to see new all-time highs. That doesn't mean that we're going up here. Maybe we do, and we probably do at some point. Don't get me wrong. But by the end of October, I would think that you are reaching for your all-time highs, if not above your all-time highs. You should be. I don't think you'll be at new all-time highs by the end of October, but I do think you'll be reaching for that area. I do think you'll be there. And then going into the end of the year, you should be seeing new all-time highs altogether. And the target area that would be implied by the end of the year would be certainly something around about 20 cents to 40 cents, okay? Which again, from here is about anything from an 8x to a 16x move. By the end of the cycle, we're looking for something that's a little bit more sophisticated at 67 cents to about $1.60 itself. Anything and everything in there. Can you move higher? Sure. Moonwell, with its low market cap, it does have the capabilities of seeing like a $3 price, maybe even a $5 price. But I doubt you get much above this. This is kind of your max cycle Moon Boy targets, $2.93, $5.02. I feel very comfortable saying that by the end of the cycle, you'll see a 67-cent target. I feel less comfortable saying you'll see a $5 target. Anything and everything in between is that kind of zone where you probably do hit. You probably don't stop at 67. You probably don't stop at $5.02. You probably stop somewhere in between. If I really had to guess, I would think you reach for $2 without actually hitting it. That's my thoughts, but I don't have anything else for you guys. I really do appreciate you all. I hope you're having a good day. Hit that like button, please. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Moonwell's got a very low market cap in itself, and with that does give it a lot of potential, but we'll see how it goes. It depends what we do between now and the end of October. Really what we do between now and the end of the year will really determine how high we go. And these targets will shift. They'll be a lot more appropriate. Don't get attached. Don't get attached. They could be higher. Like Moonwell, I mean, really, maybe it goes all the way up to, maybe not $20, maybe it goes all the way up to $10. The market cap allows for that. But let's wait and see to the end of the year to really get a feel for this, okay? I'm thinking 67 to $5.02 is a perfect range to gauge, specifically right there around $1.50 to $2. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one, okay? Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.